Hi, today we are going to demonstrate two project management tools. One is JIRA and the other is Trello.
Hi, today I'm going to be talking about JIRA. JIRA is primarily an issue tracking and project management tool. It's used by Cisco, Morgan Stanley and several other companies extensively for their project management activities. JIRA provides a ton of features such as story points, boards, charts, etc. in order to keep a track of your project progress. And it's probably the most convenient and effective project management tool that we have come across.
So I'll tell you how to install JIRA. You go to the Atlassian.com site and you can choose either 32-bit or 64-bit installation. As my computer is 32-bit, so I'll download the trial version. To download the full version, you have to pay a certain amount of money, so the download starts. As I've already downloaded it, so I'll just show you that and download. I have downloaded the setup file already, so this is it. Do run it. It takes a while, a minute or so to you have to get the permission. So this is the first, we'll click next. Custom install is for advanced users, so we use the express install. Allow access. This is the place where it will be stored. You install it. So once this is done, then it starts launching JIRA. Might take a couple of minutes, and then this is done. So once the installation is complete, you just have to create an account and sign in, and then you're ready to use JIRA.
Hi, the tool we're going to be demonstrating today is JIRA. First up, we downloaded the free trial version from Atlassian.com. So it's a 7-day trial version, and then once you set up with your trial version of JIRA, you have administrator rights, as you can see. So we'll quickly run through all the options provided by JIRA. First, let's start with dashboards. So you have two options here. One is to manage all the current dashboards on your system, and the second one is to view the system dashboard. Let's just go to system dashboard. So yeah, dashboard basically describes the activity stream and specifies all the projects that you're currently working on. This dashboard can be customized according to your user requirements. So you can see your activity stream here, the introduction, the guide for JIRA administrators to set up. This is basically what you will be following first. You click on show getting started, and then you can set up JIRA accordingly, according to the commands given, and that's how you'll be able to set up yourself as an administrator. So once you're an administrator, you can see your admin stream. You can see here that we have added issues and set up a project, which will be showing it to you in a while how it's going to be done. So yeah, next we go to manage dashboards, which let us manage all our favorite dashboards, the popular ones, and also search for dashboards. Projects is the next option. It lets you view all the current projects under JIRA. It lets you create a project, that is how to create a new project under JIRA, I mean your own project. We'll be showing that to you in a while. It also lets you view Gantt charts. We'll also be demonstrating that in a while. And then again, it lets you import external projects into your project, or rather system dashboard. Issues. JIRA basically is primarily an issue management tool. So issues is what it basically lets you manage all the issues in your project. We've already created a project called Proctor Management System, as you can see here. We'll first show you how to configure your entire project. So we go here to Home and then Configure. This basically lets you manage all the configuration settings, all user specific settings that this application could provide for your. Yeah, so once we come into Configure, this is the page that opens. As you can see, we've already created a project called Proctor Management System. Okay, so this is basically the page which gives you an overview of every option provided by JIRA. That is basically all the functionalities that are provided for your own individual project as provided by JIRA, that is. So we'll quickly go through all the options, first being issue types. Okay, so now there are basically 5 issue types provided by JIRA, that is bug, epic, story, subtask and task. Let's go through them one by one. A bug is basically any type of sort of roadblock which prevents any normal functioning of your project. So you can specify your issue as either a bug, epic, story, task or subtask. We'll be seeing what issues are in a while. Every time a new project is created, as I already told you, JIRA is primarily an issue management tool. So it lets you create issues and manage them as well as go on to solving them eventually. So your issues can be of any of these 5 types. It can be a bug, which is basically a problem which prevents the normal functioning of the product, or it could be an epic. An epic is basically like a tag. We'll get a bigger picture of a better picture of what epic is once we understand what a story is. So first let me describe what exactly stories are. So stories are basically like a gist of your entire issue. You can break up a story into tasks, with each of which can then be assigned to the individual teams in your project team, and these tasks can then be further broken down into subtasks and so on and so forth. So that's what a story is. So now coming back to epic, an epic is used to tag different parts of the story. We basically group the tasks that share common features in a story, and we section them under one epic. So an epic is basically grouping of common tasks under a story of your issue. So similarly, as I told, task and subtasks are under your story. Each task is any sort of job that needs to be done, and that can be further broken down into subtasks. Next is workflows. So workflows basically describes the flow of your issue management. So so basically workflows, they specify the stages, or rather the phases that the issue goes through as it is under operation. Here you can view your workflow as text, that is to do, in progress, done, or as diagram. Yeah, so basically, as I said, it specifies the different stages or the phases that your issue goes through. We have specified 3 stages: to do, in progress and done. Any issue whatsoever it may be, any issue that you could possibly think of will always have to go through these 3 basic broad stages. You can customize this and create stages further if required. For example, maybe halt or suspended or removed. That's basically project specific, and as and when requirements come up, you could add stages. But as of now, we've added the 3 most basic and broad categories, that is to do, in progress and done. So an issue can be either, once created, it's either in to do, or it's in progress, or it's finally in the done phase. So that's basically what the workflow goes like. Next is screens. screens are used to add fields to your issue. We'll be demonstrating what fields are and how they're added to your issue in a while. So I'll just give a small demo on how these can be configured. So yeah, PMS is basically the acronym for our project, that's Project Management System. And since we're using Scrum, we'll be telling you what Scrum is in just a while. As I told you, bug is one of the issue type. So when the Scrum bug screen configuration window opens, or rather when you're creating an issue that is of type bug, like I told you, issue type can be bug, epic, story, subtask, or task. So when you're creating an issue type which is of type bug, the screen that will be opening will have certain fields that you will have to configure or rather fill out in order to describe your entire issue. Now this is where you will be handling or rather managing what fields will be displayed in that screen. So we will edit and yeah, you can give the name that you desire, like Scrum bug screen or workflow screen or whatever. So once you arrive at this page under screens, we go to PMS Scrum bug screen. As I explained, Scrum bug screen is the screen that opens when you're creating an issue of type bug, and these are the fields that we have chosen to be displayed in that screen as of now. We could remove, like say, labels. We could remove labels and then we could add back labels. There are several other options. You can search like JIRA capture document, team, test sessions, testing status. You can add and remove as and required. So these are the list of fields that will be displayed in the Scrum bug screen when you're creating an issue of type bug. So that's about screens. Let's go back to our project. Next is fields. As I said, fields are those individual fields in an issue that we can edit, manage, and configure so as to suit our project. We can also decide the screens that they affect and so on and so forth. So here we have the 5 issues: bug, epic, story, task, subtask, and the effect versions can be for 2 screens, 5 screens, 3 screens. And here is the edit button. Using this, we can configure which screen, which issue type will be displayed to, and which version it will be affecting, and so on and so forth. Next is project mappings. Project mappings, it's very simple. It just lets you create different mapping schemes for your project. As of now, we don't have any such mapping schemes for our project currently, but yeah, you can create any mapping scheme as required. Next is versions. So versions, it basically helps to keep a track of your project release versions. It provides start date, release date, a name for your version, description. So we can just give version 1.1.2 description. Start date. So as you can see, that creates a new version. We already had a version 1.1, which was our pilot launch version, which we'll be demonstrating in some time. Now I created another version which can be edited. As you can see, it provides the edit icons. Just hover over them and you can edit them. So in this manner, we can manage all our release versions. Next is components. So components, it's actually it's a very important part of the project. It lets you break down your project into smaller components. For example, front end, server, back end, UI, and so on and so forth. And then you can assign a lead, as you can see, component lead, for each component. So as of now, we have only one user, that is Soumya Bharti, the administrator. So we can assign, say, a new component called database, which is the stores data, and the component lead can be Soumya again, and add. So now you can see that our project has three components, that's UI, server and database. So in this manner, every project has its own complex components, and as the complexity of the project increases, so do the components. So this lets you add as many components as you want, and also, you know, you can it's optional if you want to assign a lead for that component. So that's about components. Next is roles. So roles, they basically let you define different roles in your project. We can assign particular people to specific roles in our project. For example, admin, developer, user, etc. Now you can see that admin is Soumya, so we add her as the admin. So that adds her as one of the administrators. Same way, developer. As of now, we don't have any other users, but yeah, if there were any users, you could say add Monica, and you could update that. But as of now, we don't have any other developers. Sorry, we don't have any other current users of JIRA in our project. We haven't added any such users because they're not using JIRA as of now. So yeah, this is basically to assign roles to all the particular people in your project. And next we go to permissions. Permissions is very simple and straightforward. It allows you to provide access permissions to your team members. It's nothing much actually. There's nothing much that we had to do here, but yeah, if you want to provide any exclusive permissions or want to have your own set of customized permissions, this lets you provide the access permissions to everything. Next is issue security. Issue security is, again, it's pretty simple and straightforward. It lets you set all the security settings for your project: high security, low security, no security, your choice. Then we go to notifications. Notifications, they let you notify all the members of your project of any events in your project. Like, say a new issue has been created, you can notify your members so that they can keep a track of the notifications. Say 10 new issues were created and someone was off work, so when they come back, they have all the notifications in place. All they have to do is go through the notifications, and they can make themselves updated on everything. So basically, any event that comes up, an issue has been solved, resolved, or a new issue has been created, or a new issue is in progress, or there's a high priority issue that has to be put into progress as of now, anything, you could notify your team members. And like I said, there's an account of all the notifications, and that helps to keep them updated all the time. Then we have HipChat. The HipChat is basically an inbuilt chat room of JIRA, where you can chat live with other project members. So basically it gives you real-time chatting and communicating options. So any immediate communications or updations or any information that has to be put across immediately to anybody in your team, HipChat lets you do that. Then we have development tools. Development tools, they basically let you integrate your choice of development tools like GitHub, etc. You go to Connect, you have GitHub, GitHub Enterprise, Bamboo, Bitbucket, Stash, Fisheye, etc. So you can integrate your project with the development tool of your choice. Then we have issue collectors. Issue collectors, it's actually a very interesting functionality provided by JIRA. So it basically lets you gather information about issues that arise from the user end. So all you have to do is describe like the look and feel of how you want your issue collector to be. So once that is done, all you have to do is integrate, or rather embed, the generated JavaScript. JIRA has been programmed to auto-generate a JavaScript based on the look and feel that you have specified for your issue collector. So once you have specified the look and feel for your issue collector, all you have to do is embed the JavaScript that has been generated into your website, that is your Atlassian website or any website of your choice. That is the website, your project website, your personal project website. And visitors or users that visit your website can then click on a trigger which helps them to raise bugs. So in this manner, users can now raise bugs through your issue collector, which will then reach you, and then the project team can work on resolving that bug. So issue collector is nothing but it's a functionality that allows you to collect issues from the user end, and then the project team can go ahead and resolve that. So that's about it for all the options that are provided for your project. Next we will be showing you, oh yeah, there is creating an issue, and you can go to your project. And now next we will be teaching you how to create and manage a new project under JIRA. So that's about it for teaching about the functionalities about JIRA. Next up we'll be teaching you how to create and manage a project in JIRA. Thank you.
Now I will explain how the JIRA tool can actually be used for issue tracking and project management. So we have already created a project, that is the Proctor management system. To create a new project, you can go to project and go to create project. And from create project, you can select the type of project you want to create. There are various options in which you can select. We have selected the agile software development. You can choose according to your requirements. So the first thing is a backlog. So backlog is basically a list of all the issues. Issues, as we've already discussed, there are different types of issues. So quickly I'll show you how to create a new issue. You go to create, you select the project, you select the issue type. I'll select it as a task. Then you give a summary of the task. So I'll be like redesigning the layout. Okay. Then you can set the priority. I've given it medium is fine. You can select the components. It's a UI, so UI has been selected. The version of it, I will give it as version 1.2. You can give a description of it, improving UI. The due date, I'll give it as 20th. So original estimate is some 3 days. Remaining estimate, I give it as 7 days for my work that is left. And affected version, I again give as 1.2. So this is how we create an issue. And there are various fields. I've chosen some of the fields. You can choose fields according to your needs. And story points, yeah, I'll add story points to it, and I'll give it as 40. So story point basically measures the complexity of the component of the issue. So yeah, now I've created the issue, and the issue has been added, and there are various issues that I'd already created. So this is the basically how you create an issue on the JIRA software. Now we come to sprint. What is a sprint is? Sprint, so we divide a backlog of issues into groups. Each group is placed in a sprint. Therefore, a sprint is one session of execution. So now, like I can drag the issues and move them to my sprint. I can drag this, and I'll drag this, and I'll drag this. So this is my one sprint, and I'll start the sprint. So I'll give this as maybe 17th start date. I'll give as 17th April, and end date I might give it as 20th, and start date I shall give it as 15th. Okay. Now this is the workflow of your project, that is to do, in progress, and done. Again we'll drop and drag it. So yes, I drop it here, and then I drop it here. This also in progress, and then done. Progress, and done. Now various reports will be generated, and I'll walk you through all the reports and what they mean. So we complete this sprint. Yeah. So this is the sprint report. It helps you understand the work completed or pushed back to the backlog in each sprint. This helps you determine if your team is overcommitting. As you can see this chart, we did everything on April 15, so it shows a red mark that you did everything there. But this is how it should have been done. So this is what the sprint report tells us. There are various other reports which I'll show you. The burn down chart is the next. Burn down chart, it shows the actual and estimated amount of work to be done in the sprint. So all this is what 3 sprints have been started and they've been completed, and these are the story points telling it. So it indicates the task remaining, and tracks the total work remaining and the likelihood of achieving the sprint goal. Then is the velocity chart. It tracks the amount of work completed from the sprint to sprint. This helps you determine your team's velocity and estimate the work your team can realistically achieve in the future sprints. As you can see, this is the task completed and this was the commitment. In the sprint 3, whatever was the commitment, you've completed all of that. So it helps you analyze things very clearly. Next is the release burn down. Tracks the project release data for a version. Like we have version 1 and version 2, and so it helps us tell you if we are lagging behind the release date or everything's done completely. So this is the entire report that's generated. Now I'll go to the control chart. Actually this control chart, because we have really less issues right now, so it's not clearly, you can't see much of things here, but basically it shows the cycle time for your product. This helps you identify whether data from current process can be used to determine future performances. So yes, so that is basically all the reports. So there are various reports which will help us in project management. Other things like test sessions and timesheets, I cannot show you in the trial version because we don't have permissions for it. Other things in the project are like there are various add-ons that can be added, and Gantt chart is one of the add-ons that I've already added. So Gantt chart is basically a timeline of all the issues and all the work that is there in a project. It gives you a timeline that this project was done when, and when was this project done. So it tells you clearly everything, where you are standing right now and what all has to be completed and what all has been done. So this was the overview of the entire system. I hope you got a basic idea how to use JIRA.
Now I'll demonstrate the other project management tool, that is Trello. So when we have to coordinate with a lot of people doing different projects, it becomes very difficult to keep a track on what everyone else is up to and what they're working on. So this problem can be solved by using Trello. Trello is an online tool which helps you manage your project and helps you assign your team members with different tasks and keep a track of all the activities that are going on in the project. It is a very easy and simple tool to use, and it is optimized to run on any sized screen, from mobile phones to big video displays. So now let's start with the demonstration.
Now, Trello is an online tool, so installation of it is not required. We can access it online. We just have to sign up for it and fill our name, email and password, and then our account is created. So I already have an account, so I'll just log into it. I'll enter my password now. So this is the home screen of Trello. It has various boards to organize different projects. So I already have a board called Indian Idol. Click on it, and as you can see, it has a bunch of lists. All these are lists. So lists are basically the tasks that you have to do in the project, and each list has various cards. So Cards are the subtasks that your team has to do, and each card can be assigned to one of your team members. So on the right hand side you can see a bunch of images. These images are the members of your project and they will be assigned to various tasks. So this project basically, it's how you shortlist contestants for the show Indian Idol. So the procedure is like shortlisting videos first, then personal auditions, then makeover, final review, and then is the record the new album. So in the first list are the people who sent videos. If we get any new videos, we just have to add a card, type the name, and that will be added. And you can then assign a person who will take in charge of this person. Once you've done it, you'll choose the top contestants and move them to the personal auditions list by just dragging it. Then again I'll assign other members to each person. So you can see that all three have agreed to choose Abhijit Sawant, and then this guy will be sent for makeover. All these cards have a lot of functionalities. So once you choose it, the functionalities will come, like you can add some description to it. So you can do that, and as this guy has been sent for makeover, so the in charge once can add an attachment how the makeover should be, so how his new look should look like, and he attaches this image. So this image has been added. You can add links and other things also, and you can comment on it, and various things can be done, as you can see, and all the activities are seen. So other members can also see it and know what is happening, and this is the due date specified till which the makeover should be completed. So once the makeover is done, the person sends it for final review. So I am taking care of the final review. I check it, and I think some things are missing. So there's a checklist, and I'm like, checklist name changes. So I'm like, you have to change the hairstyle, makeup, and I add these things and send it again to the makeover department. So the makeover guy sees it and makes the changes, and it marks the things that have been done. Then he again sends for review. I check it again and I find that now it's perfect, so I send it to record the new album. So this is the procedure that has been done. You can add other lists by just clicking this, and the promotions after the video has been released. So this is, and now you can add cards to this new list. So this is the basic procedure you have to follow. So as you can see, to use Trello is very easy, and I'll show you another board that I've created. It's a project and it tells you the workflow, how it should be done. First is synopsis, project plan, SRS, design, coding, testing. So you add members who have to do this individual tasks, and the due dates till when everything has to be completed. As you know, this is an online software, so all this stuff is happening on a web browser over the net, and everything is instantly synchronized. As you make changes, so whatever changes I make here will immediately be shown up in all other browsers everywhere else on the net. So people can just keep a copy of open another browser on their desktop and see whatever is going on in their team. So I hope you got an idea how to use Trello, and this tutorial was